The Italy Golden Visa has a feature that sets it apart from every other European Golden Visa program. In this video, we're going to walk you through exactly how the program works, what your investment options are, and what to consider before you decide. My name is Shannon Mao. I'm legal counsel and client director of the Americas at Vancis Capital, a residency and citizenship advisory firm. We work directly with individuals and families who are looking to establish a European residency through investment. The Italy Golden Visa, officially the Investor Visa for Italy, is a residency by investment program. In exchange for a qualifying investment, you and your immediate family receive an initial 2-year residence permit, which can afterward be renewed for 3 years at a time. It gives you the legal right to live in Italy, travel freely across the EU Schengen area, and maintain your residency without any minimum stay requirement. It is not a citizenship program. Italy does not offer citizenship by investment. What it offers is a pathway to long-term European residency, and for those who choose to relocate and meet the physical presence requirements, a potential route to Italian citizenship after 10 years. Knowing which one you're actually working toward before you begin shapes the decisions that follow. The Italy Investor Visa is one of the first European residency program where you receive approval before you make the investment. Here is how it works in practice. You apply first. The Italian government reviews your application and, if approved, issues a certificate called a Nulla Osta, confirming that your investment plan has been accepted. Only after your investment plan is accepted do you apply for your first initial entry visa at an Italian consulate. Once the visa is stamped in your passport, you can travel to Italy and make the investment and apply for your residence permit. That sequence, approval, then visa, then investment, is unique. In almost every other program, you commit capital before you know whether your application will succeed. The Italy program removes that uncertainty entirely. The 2-year visa stamped in your passport gives you up to 2 years to make your first entry into Italy. Once you arrive, you apply for your residence permit within 8 days and complete your investment within 3 months. The Italy Investor Visa tends to suit clients for whom Italy itself is a part of the decision, not just as a jurisdiction, but as a place where they have a genuine connection to, or a specific reason to want access to. A significant number of clients coming to this program have existing ties to Italy, business relationships, family history, or a long-standing intention to spend more time there. It also attracts clients who want the brand recognition and lifestyle proposition of a major European country at an investment level that is more accessible than some comparable options. The €250,000 entry point through the startup route is among the lower thresholds available for EU residency through a country of this standing. And there is a specific and growing group, individuals who have explored Italian citizenship by descent and found that route closed or significantly restrained. In 2025, Italy introduced sweeping reforms that limit descent-based citizenship to those with an Italian-born parent or grandparent, cutting off claims through great-grandparents and beyond entirely. For those affected, the Investor Visa offers an alternative route to building a legal relationship with Italy. How long that route takes depends on the strength of the ancestral connection. Those who still have an Italian parent or grandparent but can no longer secure automatic recognition may be eligible for citizenship by naturalization after as few as 3 years of legal residency. For those whose connection is more distant, the standard naturalization pathway requires 10 years. If your primary goal is a second citizenship on a short timeline, it's worth knowing upfront that the Italian naturalization pathway requires 10 years of physical residency. It's a long horizon, and the right conversation with an advisor before you commit will make sure the program you choose actually matches what you're trying to achieve. The Italy Investor Visa has 4 investment routes. Here is what each one requires. €250,000 in an innovative Italian startup, This is the lowest entry point and the most accessible route for individuals with an interest in Italy's entrepreneurial ecosystem. The startup must meet the Italian government's criteria for classification as innovative. Your advisor can confirm whether a specific company qualifies. 500,000 euros in an established limited Italian company. This route suits investors looking to support an existing business rather than an early stage venture. The company must be incorporated and operated in Italy. 1 million euros as a philanthropic contribution to projects of public interest in Italy, covering areas such as culture, education, scientific research, arts, and heritage. This is a non-refundable donation rather than a financial investment. At 2 million euros in Italian government bonds, this is the most conservative route from a risk perspective, placing capital into sovereign debt instruments rather than private enterprises. All four routes require that the investment be made in full, without loans or leveraged funds, within 3 months of entering Italy. The investment must be maintained for the duration of the permit. Italy has a flat tax regime that Golden Visa holders have the opportunity, but not the obligation, to make use of. It is entirely separate from the residency program itself. You do not need the investor visa to access it, and holding the investor visa does not automatically enroll you in it. Here is what it involves. Individuals who have not been tax residents in Italy for at least 9 of the previous 10 years and who transfer their tax residency to Italy can elect to pay a fixed annual sum of 300,000 euros on an all foreign sourced income, regardless of how much they earn abroad, in place of Italy's standard progressive tax rates, which can reach up to 43%. An income earned within Italy is taxed separately under those standard rates. Each qualifying family member can be added for an additional 50,000 euros per year. The regime lasts for up to 15 years. For the right profile specifically, individuals with substantial foreign-sourced income well in excess of the flat tax threshold, this can represent a significant and predictable tax position. It also carries exemptions from Italian gift and inheritance tax on foreign assets, which has meaningful implication for families engaged in long-term estate planning. It is not designed for everyone. At 300,000 euros per year, it makes most sense for individuals with significant international income and asset structures for whom the certainty and simplicity of a fixed annual payment is genuinely valuable. Whether it is right for your specific situation is a question for your qualified tax advisor or accountant. The investment amount is not the total cost of the program. You should budget separately for document preparation and translation costs, consulate fees for the visa, legal and notary costs, health insurance, and ongoing compliance costs at renewal. At Vancis Capital, we work through the complete financial picture with every client before any commitment is made. On renewals, the Italy program issues an initial 2-year permit, renewed every 3 years thereafter. That renewal cadence is worth factoring into your long-term cost planning. If you plan to include family members in your Italy Golden Visa application, the dependent provisions are specific, particularly for parents and adult children. Your spouse can be included as standard, as well as unmarried children under 18. For children over 18, inclusion is limited to cases where the child is objectively unable to provide for their own needs, typically due to a permanent disability or serious health condition. This is not a standard financial dependency provision. It requires documented evidence of an inability to be self-supporting. For parents of the applicant, there are 2 routes. Parents who have no other children in their home country can be included, provided they are genuinely financially dependent on the main applicant. Where parents do have other children in their home country, inclusion is only possible if the parents are over 65 and those other children are unable to support them due to serious and documented health conditions. Italy applies these requirements more strictly than some other European programs. That is not a barrier for families who genuinely meet the criteria, but it does mean documentation needs to be thorough. and your advisor needs to assess your family's specific situation carefully before the application is submitted. The Italy Investor Visa moves through 5 stages, and the sequence is different from every other European residency program. Stage 1, Eligibility Assessment. Before anything is submitted, your eligibility is confirmed. A clean criminal record, valid passport, documented source of funds, proof of the intended investment, and comprehensive health insurance covering Italy are standard requirements. Stage 2, Nulla Osta application. Your investment plan is submitted through Italy's official online portal. The government reviews the application and, if approved, issues the Nulla Osta, the certificate confirming your investment has been accepted. The government's formal review typically takes around 30 days, though the full stage, including document preparation and any requests for additional information, can extend to 2 or 3 months. This makes the Nulla Osta application one of the fastest approval processes among European residency programs. Stage 3, Investor Visa. With the Nulla Osta in hand, you apply for the Investor Visa at the Italian consulate in your country of residence. The visa is stamped in your passport and gives you up to 2 years to make your first entry into Italy. It also permits short-stay travel within the EU Schengen area during that period. Stage 4, Entry and Investment. You enter Italy and make the qualifying investment within 3 months of arrival. Within 8 days of arrival, you also apply for your residence permit, the Permesso di Soggiorno. Stage 5, Residence Card Issuance. Once you have filed at the Questura and submitted your biometric data, the residence card is typically issued within 1 to 2 months. The total process from initial application submission to residence card in hand averages 3 to 6 months, making it one of the fastest European residency programs from start to finish. The 2-year visa stamped in your passport allows you to enter and re-enter Italy freely during that period and to travel within the EU Schengen area while your card is being processed. The total realistic timeline from first consultation to residence card is 3 to 6 months. These are the questions we hear most often about the Italy Investor Visa. Do I have to live in Italy to keep the permit valid? No. There is no minimum stay requirement to maintain the residency permit. If your goal is eventual Italian citizenship, that requires meeting physical presence conditions. But for the permit itself, you are not required to be based in Italy. Can I work in Italy with this permit? Yes. The Italy Investor Visa permits you to live and work in Italy. This is broader than some other European residency programs which restrict employment rights for permit holders. What happens to my investment if the permit is not renewed? The investment must be maintained for the duration of the permit. If you choose not to renew, you are not obligated to maintain the investment, but the permit and any associated residency rights would lapse. Your advisor can walk you through the practical implications for your specific investment type. Can I apply if I had been previously refused a visa for Italy or another EU Schengen country? This depends entirely on the reason for the prior refusal and the documentation surrounding it. It is not an automatic bar, but it is something your advisor needs to know from the outset, before the application is submitted. Do I need to pay taxes in Italy? Holding an Italy Investor Visa does not automatically make you a tax resident of Italy. Tax residency is determined by several factors, including physical presence, civil registration, and where your principal interests are centered. The tax implications of the program vary depending on your personal circumstances, country of origin, and how you structure your residency. We always recommend discussing this with a qualified tax advisor or accountant as part of your broader planning, and we can connect you with the right professionals through our processes. How long until I can apply for Italian citizenship? 10 years of legal residency in Italy with the physical presence requirement met. An Italian language exam at B1 level is also required as part of the naturalization process. Your advisor can help you understand what that pathway looks like for your specific situation. Before you commit to any residency program, there are 4 questions worth putting to your advisor. What is the full cost, not just the investment amount? Government fees, legal costs, health insurance, and renewal expenses all sit on top of the headline figure, and the complete picture should be clear before you decide. What is your genuine connection to Italy, and does it match what this program delivers? The Italy Investor Visa is most valuable when Italy itself is part of the plan, not simply as a jurisdiction of convenience. If you intend to include your family members, what does your specific family structure look like against the dependent provisions? The requirements for adult children and parents are particular, and they need to be assessed properly before submission. And what is your advisor's specific experience with this program? The Nulla Osta process, the investment structuring, the consulate relationship, these are areas where experience makes a difference to how smoothly the process runs. At Vancis Capital, we have guided over 1,000 families through decisions like this one, and we approach every engagement with the same rigor and discretion. If the Italy Investor Visa is on your radar, the right next step is a conversation with an advisor who can assess whether it fits your specific situation. We offer a complimentary strategic consultation. Click the link in the description to submit your details, and we'll be in touch. Take charge of your future.